Hi guys. The topic for this live is the illusion of progress, and the reason I wanted to do this live is just so that we could all discuss how we measure success, and whether or not success can be measured, and how do we attempt to measure it. So part of the reason why I thought of doing this live is because I recently took my previous employers to an employment tribunal, and although we haven't received a judgment, I actually feel really satisfied that I took them to the employment tribunal, and I actually feel relieved now that it's over. But I found that when I do tell people that I've just had an employment tribunal, people always want to know what the outcome was, and people are like, oh, what was the verdict? What was the judgment? Did you win? Did you not win? But in preparation for the decision that I'll receive, I just want to ask myself, how do we measure success? Like, how do we quantify success, and what do we use to measure it, and what are the parameters of how we measure it? And so what I wanted to say is, if somebody so I've just finished the employment tribunal, and I feel satisfied. I feel happy within myself, um at the whole process. I'm relieved that I was able to take them to court. I was able to have my day in court, and I was able to put some questions to them that I wouldn't have been able to, put to them before and have them answer. So I feel like I've held them to account, and I'm just happy being in that space. But then, because people keep saying to me, oh, what was the outcome, or what's the verdict, what's the judgment, it's making me question what is success and what is progress. Because I feel as if I feel if I lose the case, even though it will be embarrassing to lose, I will still feel satisfied that at the fact that I've had my time in court. And if I win, that will be even better, because then they'll have to implement and put different things in place. But in saying that, hi, the noise. The noise, I just want to ask you, what do you class as success? Like, how would you measure success? Like, honestly. Hi, Charlie Harland. I'd just like to ask you, how would you measure success, and what would you say are indicators of success, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah. I think lots of people measure progress by external things. I think lots of people measure it by external things. Hi, football fanatic, how are you? I'm just asking, how do we measure success? How do we measure progress? And is it external? I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Business. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So in regards to business goes business goes up and down, right? Like, business isn't, obviously you need to make a profit, or you might be establishing your brand, or you may be, yeah. But business is a good one. Although we read of lots of really successful businesses that that long term do great, but they have seasons up until that point where it's up and down. So you also have businesses that go into administration one day, but perhaps the day before they look like they were doing great, or they look like they were doing well. Hi, Andrew Shandley. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Not sure what the weather's like where you are, but I hope you're in sunshine or keeping warm. Today I'm just asking about how we measure success and how we measure progress, and whether or not it's an it, and whether or not it's an illusion. Charlie Harlan's given an example of business. However, there are some businesses that are established that at some point didn't look as if they were doing well. Hi, Simon Swift. I hope you're well. We're just discussing the illusion of progress and how we measure success and progress. I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to read any comments that come up in the chat of the most effective way, of the most sensible way to measure success and progress, and whether or not material things can be an illusion. Thank you, Simon. Andrew, I'm well, thank you. As I was saying, I've just finished an employment tribunal with my previous employers, and it's a big relief to have finished the tribunal. But as I was saying, people have been asking me, oh, what's the outcome? What's the outcome? What's the verdict? And I just feel like I'm satisfied being able to just hold them to account. And I don't necessarily care what the judgment is. It's the fact that I've been able to hold them to account that I'm happy about. But then, is that progress, or is it an illusion of progress? Thank you, Simon. I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel bit by bit. But thank you. And thank you for liking it live. But yeah, so just everybody's thoughts on how we measure success and progress, and whether or not material things are an illusion. And also, has anybody ever taken their employer or previous employer to tribunal? I work with the general public. I'd rather not say what I do. It's a bit sensitive. It's actually not a good idea for me to speak about my work online. But yeah, but it's really difficult when you're having issues at work. It does affect your home life. It does affect your well-being and your peace, unfortunately. So I think people from all backgrounds can relate to issues at work. But I'm just so glad that I was able to have my day in court with them. But if I happen to lose the case, that would be embarrassing. But I'll still be glad that I was able to take it to the level I took it to. Everybody likes nice things. Like everybody would love to live in a mansion, drive nice cars, jewelry, the whole shebang. Everybody loves to do those things, but I wouldn't necessarily measure that as success. Especially if it's questionable how somebody has been able to obtain those things. So that isn't always a measure of success, I would say. But obviously, if people have worked hard, or they've taken over the family business, or they've been lucky and they've been able to achieve those material things, that probably is success. But I think there's also more to it. I think you also need to have peace and well-being as well to make it a sign of progress. Also, as well, when it comes to romance, I think in the West we probably concentrate more on material things like flowers, chocolate, trips abroad, you know, you know, just just things that is measured materially. But I think in other societies, romance is dedication, loyalty, respect, understanding, sacrifice, and respect of each other's family. So I think some words are beginning to have their meanings changed, you know, over time. I don't think I wouldn't assume, like, my partner is very romantic, but not in the conventional sense. I mean, he'll be willing to sacrifice anything for me. He respects my family. I respect his family, and when he's away, if he travels, if he goes, abroad for a bit, like, we're both loyal to each other without question. And so I would say that's really romantic. I feel safe when I'm with him. But for in some people's eyes, being romantic is just having something material, like, and I just think it's let me tell you something about the Wi-Fi. Terrifier. So where we live used to be a forest, actually. So it actually used to be a forest, and so everybody in this area has issues with their Wi-Fi, like every single body, no matter their Wi-Fi, we all have issues because it's not, yeah, it's in the woods, it's in the forest, and so that's been a barrier for everyone in the area, not just me. But yeah, it's an actual issue with the connection. In a way, it's good because you can't be on your phone like 24/7. So in a way, it's good because it limits your Wi-Fi use by force, and also we've got really nice woods that we can take walks in. But yeah, the Wi-Fi is rubbish around here. But I promise you, it's not a provider issue. It's just the area. We're out in the sticks, so maybe we'll move closer to the city and get better Wi-Fi. But for now, this is it. Let me think what else. Can't think of anything else. Thank you for liking the live, and thank you for joining the live. Can I ask what everyone's doing on this Sunday? It's really nice weather here at the moment. It's very sunny, so everybody's out and about doing their thing, enjoying the sunshine before it starts raining again. But yeah, Terrifier, I hope you had a good Sunday. Hope you're having a good Sunday, and I wish you all the best in the coming week. Yeah, so that's what I would like to say, really. Also, I think it's good to have personal personal goals as well. Chilling, watching a live. Yeah, you should go on live as well, actually. That would be good. But yeah, it's just Sunday's a really good day just to chill. I remember I had an uncle that used to live in South, and Sundays would be a good time for me to go and visit him because there'd be no traffic. There'd be no traffic, there'll be parking, so I could go and visit him on Sundays. But yeah, Sunday's a good day just to relax. Don't know how everyone feels about the coming week. Any plans? Any up and coming events or anything? Hi MHA Gaming, let's go. What games do you... MHA Gaming, let's go. Hi to you. But yeah, so I think also as well, depending on what part of society you're in, you know, you can have somebody that's really, really successful and has got so much to offer society, but it may not be valued amongst your peers. So you can't always take what your peers say as a measurement of your success, because your success and you know, your success may be undervalued. You know, people might not understand your progress. Like my brother, he's a genius when it comes to maths. He's an absolute genius, honestly. But when he was in school, you know, when he was studying, when he was, you know, in his books, nobody valued that. Nobody valued the fact that he was a genius in maths. Oh, he knows more than fractions. Oh, he knows more than fractions. Nathan, but Barnard, why do you have homework? So now he's an actorist. That's what he does now, which I think is like a statistician, maybe. But yeah, so when he was really good in maths growing up, people didn't value it. People didn't really see, people didn't, you know, really uplift him for being good at maths. But, you know, since he's left school, he went to university, and he's got a really, really good job now, and as a direct consequence of him being so good at maths. So now he, he's doing well for himself, and now people will value his, now people will value his success because he makes a lot of money, and and because of the circles he runs in. But when he was in school or college or university, people just thought he was a nerd, you know, because he was so good at math. So I don't think that we can always measure what progress is, because it can often be an illusion, and the peers that he was at school with that did seem to have the illusion of progress, you know, we've since come to find it wasn't progress at all. So I say all that to say this: don't 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 assume your progress and your place in life is like, don't let people around you identify what progress and success is for you. Don't allow that. So I'm gonna cough, sorry. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say, really, because I don't know if it's social media, but the world has become very visual, which isn't healthy, and that goes for women as well. The world is very visual, which is leading some of us to make decisions that isn't conducive for us, shall I say. So it's on all sides. Also, it's, if you look at different cultures and different societies. Nathan Bernard, did you have a fraction you needed to figure out or something? Like, do you need help with your homework? My partner's really good at maths. He's really good at maths. I know I'm about to say something weird. My partner never used to use an alarm clock. I used to need about 2 alarms to get up in the morning. My husband, he never used to use an alarm clock. And a lot of people in Ghana, I'll say everybody in Ghana, don't use alarm clocks. And I'm talking about from my crowd. And so I think the reason why people don't use alarm clocks, and I might be wrong, I feel like they tell themselves what time they need to wake up. And my theory is their brain calculates how many heartbeats need to beat up until that time, and then they wake themselves up. Sorry, my partner thinks that's weird, but that's what I think. I think people would tell themselves what time to wake up, calculate how many heartbeats until that time. So if you need to wake up at 5 a.m., I feel like your body will calculate how many heartbeats until 5 a.m., and then when you do that many heartbeats, it will wake itself up. That's my theory. That's my theory. Because I'm terrible at maths and I can never get up. But yeah, so what I was saying, sorry, off on a tangent, is that depending on what you do or depending on what you like, there might be, you might not be in the part of society that values it. So, there's people that are very tall, very slim, they can jump high, and if you're female in a certain time and society, that will be seen as very negative. As a woman, oh, she's very tall, she's very slim, or she could jump, she's very sporty. Obviously, there's a time in society where that's seen as a very negative thing. However, if you're in America or UK, but I would say more America, and you play basketball, you might be able to join the WNBA. So, you know, you, you know, what people might not value in you, or what people may not value about you, you just might be in the wrong society. Do you know what I mean? Or you just might be in the wrong part of the world. So I say that to encourage you all that no matter what qualities you have, you know you're valued as a human being. And I personally believe that everybody has talents and everybody has gifts, and it's just finding out what your talent and what your gift is, and either monetizing that or helping people. You're welcome. You're welcome. Like even people that like people that is it people I think people that are blind have really good hearing, and people that are some people in wheelchairs have really strong arms, you know. So you might not realize that where you lack in one area, it may be building up another part of you, um, and overcompensating in in that part of your personality or in that part of your body. So yeah, definitely, everybody's got something to offer, and don't allow people to pigeonhole you, or don't allow people to dismiss you know, what your gifts are, basically. Like, I believe everybody has a talent, you know. Or I believe that some people can work really hard at something and become really good at it, because there's a saying that people that are really talented aren't necessarily hardworking because they're naturally gifted, and then you'll get somebody that isn't as good as that same thing but will work harder at it because they understand where they lack. So they will work very hard and apply, their work ethic, and apply dedication, and apply time, and apply research to those skills in order to excel. Whereas somebody that may be naturally talented may be a bit more laid back on their discipline, which works out somebody with talent missing out on opportunities that somebody far more disciplined in that field is, but not as talented. So, it's like the tortoise and the hare, Obviously, the hare's naturally faster, but the tortoise won. through strategy, patience, and being true to themselves, you know, knowing their own self identity and what their strengths and weaknesses are. Anyway, I'm going to go soon. Next week, Sunday, I'm doing a live on dating safely in Ghana, and it's for men. I'll have a guest star who's not a guest star, I'll have a guest who's based in Ghana, a male, and he'll be giving people tips on how to date safely while in Ghana. Just, you know, the etiquettes that will be useful for you to find the type of lady that you want. Oh, I'm rambling at this point. I'm rambling at this point. I think also as well, I think luck does a lot. I think luck can go a long way. I think sometimes some people are in the right place at the right time, or they know the right people, or they have the right look. So that can't be, I guess it can be manufactured, but not necessarily. But CEO Annie Perry, what are your thoughts, and what's your outlook, or what do you disagree on? Because I'm running out of ideas. But yeah, what are your thoughts, or what do you disagree on, or what's your take on things? I just personally think that there's too much emphasis being put on external these days, and it's going to backfire on all of us. But what are your thoughts? Somebody told me to watch Star Wars Episode 3. Has anybody watched Star Wars Episode 3? I want to see if it's the one with Natalie Portman. Episode 3. Yeah, I've watched this one. I love this one. I've forgotten who told me to watch Star Wars Episode 3. I've watched it, but yeah, I'm going to do a live on it because I loved it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do a live on that one. I think any excuse to watch it again. But yeah, so if you guys have got any suggestions for topics, go ahead. I think also as well, for some people, hi Kev5 Aqua, how are you? How's your Sunday going? I think also as well, for some people, because we have such a visible measurement of success, and because we have such a visible measure of progress, you can just fake it. You know, you can just fake it. Kev5 Aqua, I'm just talking about the illusion of success, and how externally we can come to conclusions that are questionable. So I believe that the measurement of success and progress have become external rather than inward, and I think it's easy now to fake success. I think it's easy to fake progress, and so in some instances we have to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm glad you're well, Kev5 Aqua. Good to hear that. Yeah, so I think in some situations like making friends or dating or getting, you know, a good job, I think the indicators can be very misleading because we're so external now. Those are my thoughts. But yeah, so those are my thoughts, and I want to thank everybody for joining my live, and thank you for liking the live, and I will be back during the week. I have another live next week Sunday about dating safely in Ghana, and it's a live for men, and it's I'll have a guest who's based in Ghana, and he will be giving the men tips on how to date safely in Ghana, because thank you so much, Kev, for that call. I really appreciate that, and I hope to give content that you enjoy. If you have any suggestions, any topics that you would like me to do a live about, feel free to put it in the chat. But anyway, thank you all for your attention, and thank you for your time. Thank you for liking the live, and thank you for subscribing. I will be doing more lives with topics that hopefully you will all enjoy. I hope you have a great week, and I thank you for your attention, and I'll see you either this time, definitely this time next week, and also during the week as well. Thank you. Bye.